Okay, so here's your quick video slash not so quick video on how to balance redox reactions. This first one is going to be balanced in a acidic solution, and then the next video I'll do is a basic one. So your very first step is figuring out what the half reactions are. So you want to find species that kind of look similar to one another, and those are the ones that you're going to build the two half reactions off of. So the first one I'm going to have is diatomic iodine turning into IO3 minus. And then the second chemical reaction that we're going to have is OCl minus turning into Cl minus. Okay, so your first set of instructions is to balance anything that is not oxygen, hydrogen, or charge. So I'm going to start with iodine. I have 2 on the left, so I'm going to need to put 2 on the right. And then down here I have 1 chlorine on the left, 1 chlorine on the right, so we're all good. So once you balance every other atom, you're now going to balance oxygen. And the way you balance oxygen is by adding water. So if you'll see that I have 3 oxygens on the right-hand side, that means I need 3 water molecules on the left-hand side to get those 3 oxygens. On the bottom reaction, I have 1 oxygen on the left, so that means I only need 1 water molecule on the right. So once you balance oxygen, the next thing you want to balance is hydrogen. So I have 6 hydrogens on the left, and I have none on the right, so I'm going to add 6 H plus molecules. And this H plus is what makes it acidic, because that is quite literally the definition of an acid. So down here, we have no hydrogens on the left, we have 2 on the right, so I'm going to add 2 H plus ions. So once we're at this stage, now we need to start figuring out charge. So your goal is to figure out what the net charge on each side of the reaction is. So right here, I have no charge, so I have a net total of 0. Right here, I have -2 plus +6. That's why I'm adding, because it's +6. So what that means is I have a total of +4 on my right-hand side. So what I need to do is I need to make the charges on both sides match by adding electrons. Electrons are negative. So what that means is I can only bring a number down, I can't bring this number up. So by that logic, I have to add 4 electrons to cancel out that +4 charge. Down here, I have a +2 coming from my 2 hydrogens, and I have a -1, so when I add that together, I just get a charge of +1. On the right-hand side, I have just a charge of -1 from this chlorine, so I need to add in 2 electrons to turn this +1 into a -1. And just like that, I've balanced out my charge. So now my very next step is going to be to multiply both reactions by a number that's going to make my amount of electrons match. So between 4 and 2, I'm just going to multiply this bottom one by 2. And keep in mind, everything gets multiplied, so you're essentially distributing in a 2. So let me write my top reaction. We have I2 plus 3H2O turns into 2IO3 minus plus 6H plus 4 electrons. So when I multiply this whole bottom reaction by 2, I'm going to get 4 electrons plus 4 hydrogens plus 2 OCl minus turns into 2 chlorine minuses plus 2 waters. All right, so now that you multiplied it and your electron numbers match, I have 4E on the right, 4E on the left. I'm just going to add these 2 reactions together. I'm going to cancel anything out that's both on the left and the right-hand side, just like you would in math class. So first things first, we can get rid of our electrons. The next thing I want to notice is I have 3 waters on the left and 2 on the right. So all of these waters are going to go away, and I'm only going to be left with 1 more of these. The next thing I'll notice is I have 4 hydrogens on the left and 6 on the right. So that means all of these are going to get canceled out. And so I'm left with 2 of these. So now when I add my reactions, I'm just going to write whatever's left over. So I have I2 plus 2 OCl minus plus H2O turns into 2 IO3 minus plus 2 Cl minus plus 2 H pluses. And just be careful not to lose anything. It's very easy to make a mistake right there. Okay, so with that, I want to just double check to make sure everything's balanced. The easiest way is just to check and make sure your charge is balanced, because as long as you multiplied everything right, your atoms should be balanced too. So right here I have 2 negatives, so that's -2. And that's about all I got on the left-hand side. Right here I have 2 negatives, so that's -2. I got 2 more negatives, so that's -2. And then I have 2 positives, so that's +2. So that cancels out, so I have -2 equals -2. And we're good.